How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Factorio. Hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far. If you guys have, do smash the like button if you haven't done so already. With that, let's get to the episode. So, as you probably could tell, or maybe not, I am a little congested from this week. Not having... Thankfully, I think I'm on the downhill? The uphill? I'm on the recovery. We'll put it that way. We're on the recovery side of this. So we went ahead and we grabbed quite a few things that we needed for Aquilo. Couldn't think of the name. We went ahead and grabbed more concrete so we can expand the platform. We also grabbed some other materials while we're traveling to Gleba. I'll kind of show you. So some of the things I did is I went ahead and set some of this up. I'm also trying to get this going. However, I realized, oh, we need holmium plate. And I also went ahead and plugged everything into the Factorio calculator so I could figure out exactly what I need in order for these stuff and things to exist, or so I know how many buildings we're going to need. Now, part of that, of course, is kind of expanding this little cycle that we have going here. So right now, this is mainly set up so we can produce more ice platforms from this process here. But we also need some of these cryogenic plants. I have 15. I think I need 40 total to get what I want. And we're also going to need a much larger platform, so we are going to probably have to expand up here as well. But prior to doing that, we have had quite a few issues, here on Gleba, with basically the entire power grid has been wiped out. So we are going to head here and deal with that. Actually, we're probably going to head... I know I said it so that we go to Gleba, but we're probably actually going to head to Flagora to pick up some items, and we are going to build a proper defensive network because hashtag this is really annoying to deal with. So currently I think we are dealing with just electric weapons, but this guy, I can actually mouse over him, is... I just want to see what you're resistant to. Stand still or don't stand in all this stuff. Okay, so laser is 80%. So turrets might be the way for that. Might be the move. Are we going directly to Gleba from Aquilo? Yeah, so we'll probably go to Gleba. But we're actually, I think we probably should have just gone to Flagora because we need to pick stuff up in order to actually do stuff there. Unless we have it on here, do we? We don't. Okay. So then what we're going to go ahead and do is... Yeah, we're going to head to Flagora. We're going to get our stuff. I think this episode we're going to try to stabilize Gleba. Because, yeah, if you look here, this is just ridiculous. So we're going to deal with that. And then hope that life is great afterwards. Yeah. And then some of the other stuff we need for Aquilo, because we need the holmium plate and things, we're going to need a transport ship that can go from Volcanus for some stuff to Flagora to make the Speed 3 modules we're going to need. And then we're going to need a ship from Flagora to here to bring rocket items, so rocket fuel, LDS, and blue circuits, so that way we can have rockets. And then also holmium plate so we can make lithium, or just lithium. That's kind of that plan. Oh, and another change we made is we limited the rocket thruster capacity. So all I did is, because these things have an internal buffer, it kind of makes it a little bit difficult. So what I did is I limited it, because usually what you could do is you could connect it to the speed here. But doing that has some issues, because you don't get consistent thrust, because it essentially, what it does is if you connect it to the speed, once you hit that speed, it cuts the pump off, but because these things have such a high internal thing, you get this, almost a sine wave instead of a flat line of consistent thrust, which we don't really want. This gives us a little bit more consistent thrust. Let's set this so that we actually are going to Flagora. Because you don't really want that. What you want is you want consistent thrust. So to get that, I used a storage buffer. So what this is doing is it's pumping in the oxidizer. You don't have to do it for both because it requires both. So if this one's limited, then the left side's obviously limited as well, because you need both for the reaction to occur. So what this does is it just checks is the container less than 100? If it is, cool. And then what this does is it limits us to a set amount per second out of 192. I'm sure there's a proper way to calculate this so that you know, like this number results in this based on this many pumps. Because obviously if this is pumping at less than 100, as you can see, it fluctuates between 90 and 100 or so. So it's going to pump in for like 1 second. It operates at like max pumping speed. So then that's allowing these to reach a consumption of 26 per second. So less than an eighth of the overall output. And then that limits our thrust. Now, when we're going between planets like Gleba and Flagora, we could probably run this at full bore and have no issues. It's really when we're going from here to Aquilo, because Aquilo has the medium asteroids, and when everything is stocked up like this, we can run at full speed, no problems. Or, well, very minor problems. I think we do take damage on these corners. But for the most part, we can make it there almost no issues. It's when the ammo is low, because if we're sitting above Aquilo for too long, eventually we'll run dry because we don't have enough metallic asteroids there to replenish our ammo stores. And we only have so much storage on the belt, and because it doesn't feed back, we don't have it feeding in a loop, which maybe will change at some point, because right now it splits right and splits left, and then it feeds the whole length of the ship to the rear. Maybe we'll eventually have it so that it like goes counterclockwise or something, so that all the ammo can fully loop, so we utilize all of this storage rather than only really, at least for the front turrets, only utilizing from here to say this last turret only has this much storage on the belt rather than the whole ship being storage. That might be something we look at doing. It's probably not that hard to do. We just have to reverse one side of the belt and then somehow connect it here. We'll probably just throw a splitter, have it split off, and then go there. There's probably enough space with these walls. We could probably manipulate something in here, so I'm not too worried about that. That's definitely a change I think we'll do. Alright, so now we're at Flagora. I guess I didn't really have to get off the ship. Well, I will, because I'm going to have to go down to Gleba. So some of the things we're going to need. Let me see what we have on Flagora. What do we have in storage for some stuff and things? We need turrets. Let's bring up 100 and then 50. That should be good. So let's bring these, 50. These, 100. Let's go ahead and bring 200 of those. Let's bring up 200 requester chest. Do we have epic quality? We do have epic quality of these. We only have 3 of them though. What about laser turrets? Let's see. We've got... I could have sworn we were making laser turrets here. Oh, right here. Okay. We have 5. Cool, so let's bring up 300 laser turrets of rare quality. Rare quality. And then let's bring up some accumulators of rare quality. Let's say 500. And then do we have any epic accumulators? Solar panels. We do, only 18. Okay, so not really enough there. So we're not making them down here, right? No. Okay. And then let's bring a bunch of substations as well. That is one slight issue, is if you use a bunch of these items, you can't produce it on that planet. Well, I guess you could produce it on that planet. It's just a little bit more difficult in the supply chain, because like here on Flagora, we have a lot of the quality stuff. So unless you're doing the recycling on that planet to try to get these juggled up, might be a little more difficult. I'd probably wait until you have legendary modules to do that, to try to produce like laser turrets on Gleba locally, rather than relying on a ship to bring it. I think Aquilo actually has all of our, yeah, Tesla turrets. Uh-oh. That's fine. I suppose. Huh. Because, well, we do have a rocket. It is possible, I suppose, to get... Because, how many are per rocket? 10? Yeah, we could. We'll build the defense without them. And then, I don't know, 2,000 walls. Actually, let's make that 3,000, because we're going to be building quite a large defensive network. Do we... I don't think landfill makes sense to ship up, does it? No, because it's only 20 per stack. Okay, we'll have to produce landfill locally, I think, which shouldn't be too hard. The power grid has been decimated, which is terrible. Okay. So let's see. We need rare turbines. Okay, it's already epic, or well, not epic, but it's rare quality. So we need more turbines, heat exchangers. Thankfully, they didn't take out any of the reactors. Okay, so we just need turbines, heat exchangers. That looks like it's it. Okay. So let's add some turbines, rare ones. Let's just say 200. Doesn't hurt to have them. Yeah, and they're already made. We get 200 rare ones. So that's almost on board. That's coming up. That's coming up. Okay. So we should have almost everything we need very soon. And then that way we can dispatch hopefully future problems on Gleba. We'll see. Oh, we have another 50. Epic. So then let me... Let's get those shipped up. Those are coming. Those are on their way, and those are on their way. Excellent. Okay, so that should be everything we need, I think. Oh, how many roboports do we have? Slash need... I don't even know where we're building them anymore. What's our limit here? 200? Yeah. So this needs Tesla guns. Tesla guns backed up. Because... yeah, let's just have this recycle everything out of this. Because right now, we need just regular. Okay, okay, let's see. Oh, we're having power issues here on Flagora. Why is that? Interesting. Is the power grid really just dead? apparently. I mean, we have a capacity for 23.6 gigajoules. But it looks like we are using more than that. Oh, you know what? It's probably because we're siphoning a bunch of stuff. So the power consumption of the factory is, like, more of it's turning on. Like, we're actually using more power. Yeah, because we saw some dips here. Well, like 10 hours. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, I like that. So you can either separate it by quality or you can just merge it so all of my accumulator, or like all my chemical plants regardless, are merged. Same thing with the accumulators. That's actually kind of nice. Because then I could also just look at, oh, all the rare things are using this much. I didn't realize that existed. It's kind of nice. I'd probably use it just in the merged mode unless I'm trying to diagnose and look at it separately, but keep learning new stuff about this game. Yeah, see, because we're gonna brown out, it looks like. Yeah, because we're using more. We're using about 100 megawatts per second. Actually, more than that, it looks like, because it's ticking down, I think, a little bit faster than a second. Yeah, it's ticking down faster than a second because it's faster than this clock. Okay, well, that's unfortunate, but let's see. Do we have everything we need? We do. Okay, so let's go ahead and head to Gleba. And then, of course, if we need more, we'll come back and get more. I kind of want to build another Thor's Hammer and use that as the transport ship to and from Aquilo and Flagora for the holmium plate, because I feel like it's fairly self-sufficient. Not that it's an expensive ship to run, but it just might make sense having one of these. What I might actually end up doing though is I might rework the ship a little bit to account for the higher, so that if it is stationary on Aquilo, to recycle the ice chunks into metallic chunks, or factor that in maybe. Or what I might do is just use logistic signals to basically say, hey, once your cargo's unloaded, get out of there. Don't stay in the orbit above Aquilo. It is death. Just get out of there. Because then what we'd have is similar to the Enterprise where we get stuck. But we are going to rebuild the Enterprise at some point to be able to actually take us to the next part, which is going to be the solar system edge, and then eventually the shattered planet. But that's going to be a little bit from now. Where are we on Thor's planet? Oh yeah. So we're almost there, and then once we get there, we'll land. We'll hopefully build up our defenses and things, and get things going, so that way we don't run into any issues. Oh, it looks like my mouse is dead. I'm like, why is my mouse not working? That's what happens when you have a wireless mouse. And I plugged it in. I don't know if you guys heard that, me plugging it in. You probably did, because it's the desktop audio. But that's fine. Alright, we are here at Gleba, so let's go ahead and drop planet Gleba. And then let's also go ahead and get all the stuff and things we need. So we're going to need those, accumulators, these, turbines, probably some uranium. I'm not going to bring all the uranium because the ship needs some of it. But, ow. Okay. So we are here. So first things first is we need to repair power. and get that going. So we need robots. I don't know where any robots are here. There are in the... Can I see the whole network? Oh, probably not, actually. Okay. Well, that's going to be problematic. Okay. Give me these pumps. That. Basically the things I'm going to need, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, it does literally just look like we ran out of uranium here. Okay, so we might have to also just make a uranium ship that goes to all the planets and just drops uranium off. Forgot that this is a Russian build, so I don't have... Okay, so that should slowly start turning over power. There we go. Which now means more of the robots are going to come online. And hopefully get pipe. Which I don't actually know if we have pipe. Okay, what are we missing here on Gleba? A ton of stuff. Yeah. Aquila's missing a bunch of stuff, but it looks like Gleba slowly figuring it out. Okay. Yeah, I legitimately don't know if we have a pipe here or not. Do we? Well, there's none in there, so let's see. Pipe. We are making pipe. Okay. So then give me, like, that much pipe, just so we can have our robots place it. Oh, yeah. And then what we're gonna do is we are gonna just build ourselves a little bit of a defensive line. Who has more range? 23, 28. Okay. We have 100 of these. I guess we are gonna just want something. Say, we'll base it, I don't know, on one of these grids. Something like that. Okay. Okay. And then because we don't have enough turrets to effectively do this, we're gonna move 2. Something like that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do actually what we'll do instead is we're also gonna grab some cliff explosives, which I'm pretty sure I remember seeing in here. Yep. Cool. So we'll grab something that looks like that? Okay. So we'll do this, like that, and then we'll have this hold 100 rounds of that. Okay. That's odd, so it doesn't fit. remove one from each end. Actually, or we'll just do this. Okay. Something like that. That. Okay. And then let's also go ahead and make sure that this is actually connected to the power grid. And this way, as we get things built, we'll be able to actually have a functioning defensive line. And we'll move these further out so that they're also a part of this line. That hopefully should be much, much tougher for them to break through. And then we'll actually work on trying to make sure that it is tougher for them to break through, not just a very, very terrible line of stuff. Now, do we have... It says we have 60 roboports. Oh, they're right here. Okay. So this guy has to be there. There we go. And then this way, as we go through, the robots should slowly get ammo. Are we making ammo here? Yes, we are. Okay. Because that was going to be my next thing, is making sure that we were actually making the ammo here, so that way, when push comes to shove, we have a proper defensive line. And so it's going to go here, it's going to go north. I'm just going to do a big square. I could try to do some, like, fancy thing, but we're literally just going to do a defensive square. Oh, the dryer's done. I don't know if you guys heard that. Well, it looks like we are just about out of time, unfortunately. But one nice thing, just so you guys can see it, is this whole monstrosity is able to self-start for the most part. The only thing that it can't self-start on are the eggs. And that's just because if we wait too long in between cycles, they will unfortunately deteriorate, and all of the eggs will disappear. And turn into the little biters, and the biters will probably die. Or destroy a bunch of stuff. Either way, they're gone, so we do have to go get more eggs. That's the only part of this system that is not currently able to be self-sufficient entirely, which is a bit unfortunate, but it at least is capable of clearing out all of the stuff that unfortunately does build up. Part of that is because of these things down here at the end, so that it is able to fully clear the system. It does take a little bit longer, but it is able to clear it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you guys did, you guys know what to do. Smash that like button if you haven't done so already. With that, I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys learned something today. I know I certainly did. I'll see you guys later.